Good morning. What is all this weather about? I'm sure everybody else has been suffering it as well. I think it's the end of Storm Francine or something like that. And we're over on the east coast and we're tending to get the tail end of things. Anyway, masses of rain, horrendous. And when Kenny went down to feed the hens, we found the poor little things just about ankle deep or knee deep in mud and water in the little hen run here. So we've had to spring into action because it's not very good for them to be have that much water around their feet. This spot where they're in now isn't really that well. It's drained enough, but it's well sheltered and it doesn't get a lot of sun to dry it out and what have you. Anyway, as you can see, Kenny's putting something on the roof here. We had a little bit of corrugated plastic on the roof just near the hen pen there, just near the hen house there, to shelter them from the rain, but he's gone down to Wicks and bought a bit more, so he's putting that over just so that when we get more rain, which we're going to, they've got more of a dry area to shelter in. And on the ground, I don't know whether you can see, I'll show you. On the ground here, Margaret tries to escape. Get in, Margaret. In. Margaret and Nancy are the two adventurous culprits who like to get away. On the ground here, this was where you can see this sand. This was just all terrible mud and puddles because they dig scrape holes in it when they're scratching around and they were paddling around. It was terrible. So Kenny went down and got some sand and filled that up with. Anyway, if you see, oops, over at the far side there where it's all muddy, what we did originally was we had access to like quite coarse
sawdust. Shavings.
That's the word. They were like shavings. So we had a big bed of sawdust all over the whole coop, which has been fine in the summer, but it seems to be getting a bit soggy and waterlogged now. I don't know whether it's just with this weather. Anyway, the plan had always been to rake this all up and use it as compost at the allotment. All the hen poo and the wood decomposing down, it'll make a lovely compost for the beds. So we're just jumping into action a bit sooner. When Kenny saw the state of the place with all the puddles, he raced down and raked out this area where the sand is now, bagged it all. We've taken that up to the allotment already, and the remaining area we're going to rake up now if the weather holds, bag it up and take it up the allotment. We've got some more wood shavings to put down, and we've also got some wood chippings which we're going to try and salvage from the allotment and put them down. We're heading up to the allotment now. Last year the council chopped down a whole pile of bushes and chipped it all and left it for the allotment people to just use as a saw fit, and we used a lot of mulch our paths, so we're going to go up there and we're going to pinch it back and we're going to use it for the hen run to try and help with the water problem. We don't want to buy any more. We've had a look and it's quite expensive really, so this is going to be a free option. It's going to leave us with muddy paths, but we'll maybe just throw down some grass seed or something like that and see if we can get these poor little hens sorted, because it's no good for them. And we're fighting the rain again as well. It's cloudy and it's been forecast to rain today all day, but what time are we now? It's about 11 o'clock in the morning and it hasn't rained yet, so we're racing to try and get this done before it starts again, because I think it's going to be another downpour for at least another 24 hours after this. So see you when we get there. So This is the mulch up these paths here. We've got it all the way up there. Very deep there when we put it down. And then it heads all the way down here and round the other beds. It's actually not bad up here at the allotment. It feels quite mild, and
that's alright, isn't it?
Maybe it won't rain.
Maybe it won't. Doesn't really look like rain, does it?
Hen runs a big area. I don't know whether we'll have enough.
No, I might not. Well, we'll just see what happens, shall we? We shall see. A bit cramped to work in here. Cramped, tight area. I wish our allotment was twice the size, you know, then we could have big wide paths and big beds as well. That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would.
Break some more up. Tell you what, I'll rig down the way.
So Kenny's already raked up some of the sawdust and the chicken manure from the pen that was waterlogged yesterday, and I've just got it sitting in 4 or 5 bags here, and I'm going to be putting that onto my borders when we get everything out. At the minute, as you see in the allotment, everything's full up with plants. So I've got nowhere to put this at the minute, and it's not quite composted down enough, I don't think, at the minute. Sawdust and chicken manure. But by the time all those plants come out, I think it'll be fine just to put down. I'll show you what's in the bag. It just looks like a whole bunch of mud, really. But it should be beautiful. I mean, all that carbon from the wood shavings and all the nitrogen from the chicken manure, I'll just sprinkle a bit on each border and it should be great. And there's more to come for that. This was what we intended to do in the first place. Maybe not for another couple of months, but we were going to rake up everything on the floor of the chicken run for the manure and for the compost value. It's just that we're doing it a bit sooner than we expected with all this rain.
But the path will still be slightly mulched, you know, here. It won't just be like a muddy little path.
Yeah, well, we'll put it. We must have put 12 inches of mulch down.
Certainly, it is deep in some places, yeah.
And then next year, hopefully, this will all rot down in the hen run again, and we'll rake it all up again, bring it back up here, put it on the beds, and get some more for the hen run. Just a great extra way of making some really nutritious compost.
It's pretty rough grade, you know, this stuff as well, some really quite big bits. I'm just going to come up this way.
This is the little pond that we put in the winter to try and encourage some frogs into the garden, eat the slugs. It's a little bit stagnant, but there has been tadpoles in it, so hopefully that'll do the trick. That little late nasturtium there, isn't it sweet? And these 2 squash, which have grown up. I think it's Little Gem, a variety. They're very shiny and nice though, these ones. Whether they'll have time to come to maturity, I don't know. This is the back fence. It just goes out onto some farmers' fields back there. This is today's little pick. I love that I come to the allotment just to do some other odd job, not thinking there'll be anything ready, and every time I come away with enough to make the tea. So we've got pasta tonight. I'll just sling something together with some of this. Well, we haven't gotten anywhere near as much as we thought we were going to get. It's a bit of a blow, but we've got this big garden sack. This is quite a bit there. That's pretty heavy. And we've got half a dozen bags of sawdust or wood shavings as well. So we'll just have to go down home and see if that'll do the trick.
Did you get some of these?
Yeah. Funny looking parsnips then. So that's quite interesting. See, these parsnips, they're all they're not straight, nice root, they're all over the place. The reason for that, I believe, is because I didn't direct sow these parsnips. I transplanted them, and I was aware that this would probably happen, but and it has, so there you are. Still, they're alright.
You know what they look like? These things we grew last year.
Salsa feed, they do.
Aye.
Taste a bit better though. Lillian's little egg. She always leaves us a little one. She's always later than the rest of them. She likes to take her time. So he's just skimming off the top of the surface of the mud and that. It should be full of lots of nice good things.
Should be full of nutrients.
Bit back breaking like. A lot of the water's drained away since yesterday. It's not quite as bad to work with. It's still a bit soggy, but it's not so bad. I'm just trying to beat the rain. It started raining again there earlier on, but it didn't come to anything. The Met Office were wrong again, weren't they? They were supposed to pour all day.
Good old Met Office. Never get anything right.
And hence don't know what's going on. This ginger one's called Nancy. She's the most confident and friendly one, and she usually likes to get up in amongst things if you're busy in here doing anything. Helping out. Hello. This big grey one's Lillian. She lays that at the tiny little eggs. She's a bit of a nervous character. The middle one's Margaret. She's quite pretty. I think she may be the top hen actually.
Top hen, eh?
Where's Maureen? There is another one, but she's the shy one. She's hiding under the hen house, I think.
I'll just fill in that gap a little bit and tamp it down a wee bit. If I can get some, if I can find some high points. They dig, you know, like proper tunnelers really, you know, because I dug a little ditch out there, and if they kept on going they'd end up in the garden. So we've got all this stuff getting mixed in with it, which I don't really want.
So now that he's skimmed off all that top layer, he's just giving it all a rake to flatten it out. One thing that's amazed me about hens is how they like dig proper holes, scratching away looking for the worms and what have you to eat. So this has always been a flat piece of garden, but since the hens have been in,
It's like the craters in the moon.
it is. It's all hilly. Sometimes we have to come out and rake it flat regularly. So just going to rake that flat now, get a nice surface. And then on to the next stage. So here I've got 4 or 5 more nice bags of what will be lovely compost in there. Just doesn't look very nice at the minute, but it'll be sitting in those bags for probably another couple of months, I would think, until my allotment's ready for them, and by which time it'll be good, I think, ready to go. So here we go with the sawdust bags down. Nancy's rather alarmed by them.
Doesn't like the bag she doesn't like. See that black bag's not going to do anything to you. It's not a fox.
Nancy?
Nothing's going to happen to you. She's very alarmed.
It's alright. Oh, she nearly flew out. Or maybe you should go under your hen house. You feel safe.
I think we need all of them.
Oh, there's loads, isn't there? So we're putting this, these wood shavings down for 2 reasons. Firstly, so that the hens have got somewhere nice to live, and secondly because we're putting these underneath the wood chippings, and they'll quite quickly compost down with the chicken manure as it sinks. Eh?
Who's it squawking? It's her in there.
Is it?
She's very alarmed about something.
What's the matter? They're starting them all off. There's the bag of wood chippings going in now. Poor hens, they're actually traumatised. They've never had so much excitement for a while.
So heavy. It's not much, is it?
Yeah. We haven't got as much as we'd hoped, really wanting to cover that whole area.
It's pretty hopeless, really. Not much there.
We've got
at all.
those 2 bags in the garage
Yeah,
still.
I'll get them as well. I think I'll put it back in this corner. I like this.
Yeah, the wood chippings are, because they've been already down in the allotment, they're full of little bugs. So the hens are going to really enjoy digging around in them when they realise.
This bag.
Just put it further over.
Just let them do what they will with it. What do you think?
Yeah, I guess so.
Leave that there, they'll discover it.
So, things haven't exactly worked out how we expected. I kind of envisaged getting the whole hen run covered in wood chips. So it's not at all like that. Over this far end there's some sand. And then we've got wood chips and wood shavings. But that's fine, it's nice and dry and cosy for them now and clean, and it's not a mud bath anymore, which as I say, they were knee deep in mud yesterday morning, and they're going to have a fun time. We don't really need to rake this out too much, so it's nice and flat. We'll actually leave it for the hens just to rake through themselves, and they really enjoy doing that.
This stuff as well, straight away. Yeah, they like that, don't they?
Oh, look at them, they're having a
Yeah, they
great
would.
time. So they'll be on there half the afternoon raking through and finding all the little goodies in there. So hope you enjoyed this video. A little bit different, not so much at the allotment today. If you like our video, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.